my name is Christian Graitade. I'm a student at Olney Friends School. Today I'm interviewing Helen, Wallace, Don White, and Judy Anderson about their childhood on Captina Creek.
Dad came here, bought this when there was nothing here. That was in the 1920s, I'd say, early 1920s. Yes. He built the barn first, and then built the house. The house was built in about 1930s, in the 30s, 1930, early 30s. Then the other buildings were added to as he got the money to build them. I think that was the part of it. The Adena people, I believe, who built a mound. It's out here on the farm. There's a place that you could view. If you were on that mound, you could view both north. You could see where these forks come together. I think the Indians probably used it for a lookout. Besides, it's a burial place.
Yeah, we found some. Well, Jim Thompson that dug up some. And you could find arrows in the field down there, or arrowheads, quite frequently.
The farmers all around this valley have found Indian heads, Indian arrowheads, Indian arrowheads all around.
We went to school. I went to school at Lane's the first 4 years, which is out by where you turn to go down into Wilson Lake. And then I went 5th grade to Newcastle. And then when I was in the 6th grade, they moved us all to Bellsville, to the grade school there. And then did you go to Hunter?
I went 1 year to Hunter.
Yeah. The older kids went to Hunter.
There was a school up here at Mount Horeb. That was another thing. That was a church there. Churches and things like that did hold us together a lot, somewhat. But that was one of the things that held you together.
You taught there.
Well, yeah, I taught there 3 years. That was fun, too. That was the most fun of all.
How many kids did you have?
About 20.
Well, she had to teach her own brother.
Yeah, and I had to answer to my dad, how come he's got a grade like that? Well, Dad, he solves all the all the hard problems, and then just fluffs it off on an easy one, and he makes a mistake.
I can remember our mother used to tell us that during what they used to call dog days, that she didn't want us in the water, but it was pretty doggone hard for her to keep us out. We got hot and sweaty putting up hay. When we got back here, first place we had was for the creek.
Alright. Can you tell us more about the experience with the floods around here?
Yeah, Captina, or Captina as the locals always called it, and a lot of us still do. It floods frequently. I'd say any time that in the area when it rains more than an inch in a relatively short period of time, there's going to be places where the creek gets out of its banks. And it seems like it's mostly in the winter time when the ice goes out. There's usually floods when that happens. These bottoms will be covered with water.
I've seen it up over this road down here, up against the bank right there.
Oh yeah.
At the I mean, it wasn't that high on the bank, but it was on the bank.
I remember it washed away some of the pigs down there one time.
Is that right?
They were cleared out of High Bank.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, it was always, that was always a kind of form of entertainment for us too, when the ice would go out. It made a good bit of racket, big hunks of ice hitting together in the water going downstream. And, when that was happening, why, we spent a good bit of time watching and listening. I remember one time when that was happening, I'd probably only been 5 or 6 years old. I have a brother that's 5 years older. And I had been up on the back of the couch sitting there watching out the window in the house. It's in the wintertime. And he pushed me off so he could watch. And I thought that I had to get even. I hit him with a pair of pliers and knocked a tooth out. That was all over watching the ice.
What did you do for fun around here?
We just enjoyed life, I guess you would say. We made fun out of small things. The creek was a part of it. We enjoyed our neighbors. People visited each other. In the evenings, you would oftentimes, a couple of times a week, one family would visit another, and we played games and did things like that, and we played in the creek, did things like that. That's about the best I can tell you. Thank you.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, it was in the early 70s that the course of the creek was changed when they built a railroad out this way. They probably moved it a couple 100 feet south. And when they did, they changed a lot of, there was different places down through there where there was like deep holes of water. And after they changed it, it was no more. It's just like a steady, maybe a foot deep. When I was a smaller kid, we used to do a lot of fishing, especially in the springtime when the water would clear up so you could see in good. There was always a lot of different, what they called rough fish, the suckers, carp. There was also bass and bluegill, different types of bass too, both the large and smallmouth.
Too, because the creek and all the stuff around that we could get into. Then my kids were born here. I've got 2 kids and they were both born here. And our son's never forgiven us for moving from here.
I may be wrong, but there seemed to be a difference.
Yeah.